Hey everybody, this is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner Real Estate from a marketing perspective, and Happy New Year. 2026 is here. This is the first episode that I've done in the new year, and this one's going to be a very, very interesting one because it's going to get a little bit off what we normally talk about. But first, I always have to start out by thanking my staff, Caitlin Cornick, Devin Van Wyn, Gracie Lagos, and Melissa Caruso. If I forget their names, they're going to kill me. And of course, Jennifer Smitis and Mike Snyder. If it wasn't for those, you guys, I wouldn't have a podcast, and everybody that works with us, all the assistants and everything. And if you are a real estate agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area and you want to be on the podcast, you follow my podcast, you subscribe, you watch the episodes, give me a call, 832-654-0527. Or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com, and we'll put you on the calendar. So let's get into episode number 119. Like I said, this is going to be interesting because I have a returning guest, and I have a brand new friend I met 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
All right. So everybody knows who this is. This is Jami Bertrand. She is the broker for Elite Real Estate. She's been a real estate agent in the area for quite some time, and she's a very, very, very good client of mine and a friend, and we're going to be doing lots of things together for the future. Yes. She's been on the podcast, she's been on the radio show, and she is also on the board of directors for Houston Association of Realtors Southwest and Texas Realtors. So she's a real estate agent, she's a mom, a wife, the board of directors of two organizations. How she found time to come do the podcast, I have no idea. But in the young,
follow me up. How's that gonna? You should have done me first.
Time out. We got to start over.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And this young lady sitting next to me, whom I just met, her name is Courtney Stricklen. She is an attorney.
I am.
In real estate with the Stevens, Reed, and Armstrong group, and she is in construction litigation.
Yes.
So the reason why they're here today is I originally invited Jami to be on, talk about Jami, and then Jami calls me this morning and says, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's let's go a legal direction." And both of these ladies are involved in real estate politics and policy that has to do with things that affect purchasing, buying, and selling real estate, correct? Our business that we're in. So they want to talk about that with you guys today, give you a bunch of information about what's going on in the upcoming primary elections and then the regular standard elections that are in November in regards to who is running for positions that have positions that affect real estate and the things that they're going to do. So would you like to get started, Jami?
Yes, but also want to state Courtney is also a partner.
I am.
I'm
a partner
at
at
her
the
law firm. So, and that was this year or last year?
Last year, I was a partner. This is my second year as partner in construction litigation. I'm excited about it.
I apologize for missing that.
No, that's okay. An attorney, partner, it's all good. But yes, I'm a partner. It has a little bit of a twang to it when you say partner.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, somebody told me earlier you don't call her a receptionist. She's an executive assistant.
There, I mean, it sounds nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Jami.
So we are. So Courtney and I started Fort Bend VEC, which is a Voter Education Coalition. Really October.
It was October.
And it was born from just seeing all the voter apathy. And really, we wanted to get people engaged, the 18 to 40, the people who really don't show up at the polls or feel like their voice is stifled. We really want to educate them. This started with us sharing the propositions. And Courtney, with her being an attorney, and the way the propositions are written, have that legal lingo.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney does a really good job of breaking it down in plain language. So from there, it just started spiraling out of control. We just had one event after the other. And what I want people to realize, too, is if if you're in real estate, politics, it does affect your business. I know you don't want to get into politics. You feel like it's taboo. You don't want to offend anyone, and I get that. But policies actually affect the way we buy and sell real estate. And we can see that with the insurance, the interest rates, the homeowners, the flood insurance, all these things that affect the affordability of homes. And believe it or not, this starts in our offices, in our governmental offices. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation today. And we also have an event coming up, but I'll let Courtney chime in too on.
I mean, I agree with everything that Jami just said.
You don't get off that easy.
I know, right? She did such a good job of explaining it. I mean, essentially, that's what spurred this. I think Jami and I are both get it done type of people, and we were looking at an environment that we didn't like. We didn't, we were wanting to get something done, wanting something to change, and so we were like, okay, we're going to make this happen. And I have a background in education. I was a teacher for 7 years, and so I have I'm looking at it from a different perspective. And so I was able to look at this and say, I think if people really understood what was out there and they understood what they were voting on, they'd probably be more interested in voting. And Jami is one to be like, yeah, take that idea and run with it. And I mean, she's got so much power behind her. It's like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I think that's why we're in the position that we're at today.
So let me ask you guys a question. So we know where most people that follow politics probably get their politics. But for the demographic that you're trying to reach, 18 to 45, where would you recommend they go to get answers to the questions and to learn the issues that are on the ballot?
I mean, for me, I would say I'm always the kind of person to say, get it from the horse's mouth, right? Like, I don't want to guess. What do you mean this is not what this means? And so that's what Jami and I are trying to offer people with the Fort Bend BEC. We're bringing the candidates to people. If you have a question or you don't understand something, we're going to bring you the people that are writing these laws. We're going to bring you the people that are making these decisions so that you can come out and you can ask them whatever clarifying questions that you have. And I'm happy to be a mediator in some of these situations to translate that, which we've been able to provide at some of our events. And so I think, one, you got to meet this demographic where they are. And if they get their information from social media, then we want to have a social media presence to give them that. But more importantly, go to the source.
Yeah.
I mean, it's harder nowadays to get to objective truth, I think. And so looking someone in the eye and saying, well, why did you do this? Or why did you vote this way? Or why did you draft this bill this way? Get that answer from them, because then that's going to inform whether or not you're going to support them in the next election.
So let's say I can't look them in the eye. Is there another place to go to get the issues and the answers and things like that? Can you look up what these people do?
Yeah.
Is there places to go?
For certain. Go ahead.
Well, you can. There are certain, there are organizations that have been around longer than we have. I think the issue is it reaching the people. And it's one thing to sit behind a computer and behind a desk and put out information on social media. It's another one to have actual outreach to garner that engagement. And I think that's what separates Courtney and I. We're actually going out to the people. We're going out to the candidates. We're going out to the elected officials. And we're putting them all in this room. And then we're going to get the people to come in to speak to them. So, I mean, to answer your question, I don't know if I answered your question. There is information out there. There is, I think, the League of Women Voters.
There's different organizations.
There's different organizations. It's just the challenge is getting it to the people who needs to hear it.
And they do. So there's also, for instance, House reps here. I mean, you can go to the House government website and you can see every bill they drafted. You can see how they voted on every bill that has been presented. I mean, it takes, I think, some effort that most people aren't used to putting in for something that they don't particularly care about. I mean, if you're somebody like me and I'm going to go, that's also a part of my job as an attorney. I want to know what the congressional intent is, right? Because that's a part of the argument that I have to build when you go before appellate courts or whatever. I'm used to that. Most people aren't used to that, but the access is there. They can see that history. Or you can go to a city council meeting, right? I know some rules kind of got changed in Missouri City, but there's still access to these
Yeah.
people.
Mm-hmm.
And you can attend the meetings and see what's on the agendas.
So let me ask you a question. That sparks something that happened to me. So there is, and this is maybe not the time to talk about it, but we're going to anyway.
Let's do it.
So behind my house, there is some land, and I got a notification in the mail because my house was within 200 feet of this land, and the new owners of the land wanted to replat it from 1 to 2. And everybody that was within 200 feet of the property, the land, got a notice that they could appear at the city council hearing where the people were going before the city council in order to replat it from 1 to 2 plats. First time I'd ever been to something like this. And I walked into the room, and the city council's right there. There's a police officer over there. And there's a bunch of people sitting behind computers over here in the corner. And the people that had purchased the land had did a presentation. Whether it was a good one or not, it really didn't matter. But they did their presentation of why they wanted to do this and what they were going to use the land for. There was a lot of people there that were living within 200 feet of this property. The purpose of us attending, we thought, was to voice our opinion of whether or not we wanted to allow this to happen or have this happen. And anybody that did not come in person could voice their opinion via electronically. And all those numbers were on the screen. And nobody that was there or had voted earlier voted yes for this. And a really tiny gentleman in the corner over here raised his hand, and we guessed he was an attorney, and he said, "You're not going to like this, but as long as the family is requesting to do what they want to do, and it's within the parameters of the law, you can't tell them no." Yes. Everybody that was there was instantly angry.
Yeah.
Because why were we there if it really didn't matter if we were there or not?
So you had to do a variance, is what that's called, right? They
Okay.
wanted you to come. That's what it's called, to get a variance, and they approved it because of zoning, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
But
I mean,
they just
approved it probably because of money and politics.
probably. But when he said that, we're all looking around at each other, going. So, I got up. And I went to the microphone because everybody gets a chance to voice their own opinion. And I said, "Hey, my name's Kevin Davidson. I live at 1607, but I got a question. If I understand you correctly, and I may not have, so please correct me. But if I got this letter in the mail inviting me to come voice my opinion, but this gentleman says it really doesn't matter what I think, and you guys are going to approve it anyway, why are we here?"
Yeah.
What was the answer?
Not one.
I didn't
Silence.
think so. I didn't think so.
9 representatives in city council sat there and didn't say a word. They all just looked at each other.
They didn't answer your
They
question?
didn't say anything. And I said, "Thank you, no problem."
Yeah.
I just walked out because there was no reason for me to be there. But the lady that lives next door to me, the police officer had to escort her out. She
Yeah.
was angry.
That's probably why they have the police officer
Oh.
there. They already knew how that was going to play out.
The thing about living in Texas, it's such an interesting place to live. When I was in law school and we were taking property law, that was one of the things they would say is Louisiana is kind of weird because they're run, you have parishes and not, so it's really different. But they were like, but Texas doesn't have zoning, right?
Right.
So it's definitely one of those things where when somebody owns property, Texas is very much like that's your property, right? And so unless there are ordinances or laws or something in place that can stop, I can do whatever I want with my property within the confines of the law, right?
Right.
And so, I mean, it seems like that was probably all just for show, but if
Formality.
enough people had gotten angry, I mean, obviously that affects only the people whose property was going to be impacted by them doing that back there, but like for instance with this Verticrete, right? That concrete plant, there was such a large outpouring of people being upset that now there's alternative, like they're not planning to do what they were originally planning to do as far as I know. I mean, there's multiple plants. So one of them ended up the permit didn't get renewed and There's another one they're still trying to figure out what exactly they're going to do with that. And so I think there's two purposes to it too, right? One is we want to give people the opportunity to say what they need to say, right? Have your
Right.
public comment period.
Yeah.
But also to gauge, right? Like how does the public really feel about this? Is there something that we might need to change in the future? Do we need to somehow revise some of these rules that we have in place? And I think that's looking at the optimistic side of it. The pessimistic side of it is, this is just for show, right? Like we don't care. We're going to do whatever we want to do anyway, but to make you feel better, we're going to let you get
It's
your
a
feelings out.
formality.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when I got home, I was a little bit upset, but when I woke up the next day, I was like, there's really not anything I can do about it.
Right.
You know, I mean, they should have just not ever sent the letters out because, you know.
I'm sure that was part of their checkbox.
Yeah,
right?
it
Like,
was
you have to
it.
do
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Send the letter.
And so when we were walking out, some of the other families were like, you know, as long as they do with the land what they said they were going to do in the presentation, I'm okay with it. I'm like, well, but you and I both know that after what we just saw, what are the chances
They
of them
can do
doing with it?
anything with the land.
You see what I'm saying? And the neighborhood's been there for my house was built in 1978, and you go in right behind it and build a couple apartment complexes.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got a big
Is
problem.
that
Yeah.
what they're building behind you?
Yeah.
Oh my.
And so it was just something that recently happened, and since we were talking about it, it was,
Yeah.
you know, but so let's get back on this political thing. So, what is you? Tell me again the goal of your organization that you're with. That you guys want to educate.
Empower. We want to inform, educate voters through access. Because I believe people think our elected officials are untouchable, but we hired them, right? So they work for us. And so what we try to do is to bring the community with our elected officials together so, you know, we could get to the bottom of the policies that they're writing that affect our daily lives. Now, this is a local election. I know a lot of people turn out during the national election, but when you have judges and district attorneys and all of these people are up for re-election, this affects you immediately. So.
Yeah, local elections, and so for people that are not involved in the politics and don't pay attention and how it works and everything, coming up in March are the primaries, right?
Primaries,
Tell everybody
yes.
what that means.
You want to tell everybody what the primaries
Yeah.
are?
So the primaries it's like the pregame to the big show.
Yeah.
And so primaries are where the parties, you've pretty much already determined what party you're a part of, either Democrat or Republican, and that's where you choose who you want to represent that party, right? And so that's the preface. Once you figure, whoever wins the primary is going to be that Democratic or Republican representative for that position. They get put on the ballot in November. And now, so right now it's kind of like Democrats going against Democrats, Republicans going against Republicans, and then whoever wins that, like the bracket goes, now it's Democrat versus
down.
Republican.
But this is why it's so important for you to vote in the primary as opposed to the November election. Not that it's not important, but you got to get the right representative
Absolutely.
in November.
1000%.
Absolutely. If you're picking somebody in the March primaries who doesn't have a chance of beating whoever the opposite party's candidate is,
Right.
then you've just lost an opportunity.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste
Yeah.
of
Lost
your
a vote.
vote away,
Yeah.
right, basically. I mean, and nothing really has improved. I kind of want to piggyback a little bit on what Jamie was saying about our purpose. We know that for years the slogan has been "Get out the vote," right? Go vote, go vote. And I have been increasingly bothered by that in the most recent years because so many people are, for instance, the propositions that were just recently on the ballot in November, people are going out to vote, right? Not many, but even the ones that are going out
They
to
don't know
vote,
what they're-
they don't know what they're voting for.
Right.
And I would stand on saying that a lot of the times these things on the ballot are written to intentionally confuse people.
Right.
They're written for me.
Yeah.
They're written
Right.
for
Yeah,
lawyers.
Turner.
Yeah.
Attorneys.
That's
Right.
who they're written
Hey, wait a
for.
minute. This does not, no.
Right, like I would never expect for
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't have a legal background to look at some of the
The
word
jargon.
salad that's
Yeah.
in these ballots and these propositions and to know what that meant and how it affected
Right.
them. And so really for me is I don't want you to just get out there and vote.
Yes.
I need you to know what you're voting for.
Mhm.
I need you to know who you're voting for and why you are voting.
Yeah.
That to me is so much more important than you just, I'm just going to vote.
Yeah.
Right. Or straight ticket or
Straight
anything like
ticket.
that.
I mean, no,
Yes.
right.
Even
That's
straight
dangerous
ticket could be
too.
a bad thing.
It
You know,
absolutely
So-
It
can be a
Yeah.
bad thing. Yes.
So you guys, you mentioned a couple of times you guys do events where you bring people together, the candidates and the public and all that stuff. So you got anything coming up?
We do. So on January 10th, which is actually tomorrow, we have coffee with the candidates, and what that is a relaxed, a relaxed setting where we could actually have one-on-one conversations with the elected officials and with the candidates. There's no speeches, no podiums, no grandstanding.
Right.
It's just you and the official, and if you want to know what are we going to do with the traffic on Trammell Fresno,
Mhm.
Somebody will be there who
somebody
has
will
the
be there who
answer
has the answers for that.
to say, here's what I want to do.
And anybody watching this podcast, we're talking about Fort Bend County area.
Fort
Fort
Bend
Bend
County.
County.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're watching this and you're in Humble, this is not
Right.
for you. You have
Correct.
different
You have
representatives.
different
Right.
representatives. If you're
Yeah.
in Fort Bend County, we have 49, probably 50 now, because
Right.
we're still getting phone calls
Yeah.
and emails of candidates that are confirming to be there
And-
tomorrow.
Really?
That is from both parties. So we have
We're
representatives from both.
nonpartisan.
So that was my next question. So you have representatives from both
From
sides.
Oh, yeah, we're nonpartisan 100%.
And then after tomorrow, do you have a date for the next, is there a next event?
So we do have a next event. Right now, we've got a tentative date. It's going to be the last week of January. We are waiting to roll out the details. I don't know if you want to
we're
share
really-
anything
No, we don't
about
want
it.
to share
Not yet.
details, but I'm so excited. And
It's gonna be
just,
fun.
it aligns with us trying to reach that certain demographic. I think the young people are going to love what we have coming up at the end of the month in the way that we.
Oh, it's got to, you got to, this is my podcast. You got to say it on my podcast.
We do have candidates
We
confirmed.
do-
Yeah,
we
you
have
heard it here
candidates
first.
confirmed, but we have to, yeah.
We have noticed a trend happening as we'll
Yes.
have an idea and then all
Somebody
of a sudden we'll
steals
see
it.
it before we
Oh.
Yeah.
So-
That's why they don't want to
So
say
we
anything right
want
now.
to keep it a
Gotta be
little
tight-lipped.
close until
Okay.
we're ready to launch, because we think it's going to be pretty popular.
it's
We think it's going to be
gonna be
exciting.
Mhm.
We're pretty excited about it. Really excited about the one for tomorrow.
Yeah. And seeing the response to the one that
Mhm.
we are having tomorrow, it just spread like wildfire.
Mhm.
So if people are receptive to what we're doing tomorrow, I can only imagine how they're going to receive
Mhm.
the event at the end of the month.
And how does a representative, I mean, you can't just call one up and say, hey, I'm doing an event. I need
Yes,
you to show up.
Yeah,
You can?
that's- Yeah.
Yes.
that's
Really?
Pretty much.
Do they vet you guys first?
No.
Do you remember how I told you Jamie and I were get it done kind of people?
Yeah.
That we are the people who are going
So you don't ask them to come. You tell them what time to be there.
No.
Well, we'll say like, hey, we're having this. I mean,
Uh-huh.
Jamie and I kind of went about this whole process of the mindset of, look, we're going to do this whether you
Yeah.
want to participate or not.
Right.
Okay.
We're going to
No
provide people this.
expectation.
Right. We're going to provide people the opportunity. It's best for the candidates, we think, to want
To show
provide-
up.
Right.
Yeah.
Show up. If you want to be the candidate that doesn't show up, then you're giving the other candidate who's going against you an
Mhm.
opportunity there,
Yeah.
right? Regardless, we're going to bring the information to people.
Right.
And we
Mhm.
encourage and we want, and we've been really, really grateful for the positive feedback that we've gotten from the candidates. They've been
Mhm.
really supportive. They've really shown up for our events, which we're grateful for. But regardless, it was going to happen.
It was gonna happen, and I do want to say that I've been in politics for almost a decade now, and I kind of had relationships with these elected officials already.
Mhm.
And if they didn't have a relationship with me, they have known of me or seen my face or seen my name in some kind of political atmosphere.
Mhm.
So I want to say that was already established. So we really didn't need to do too much to twist their arm to come
Right.
and say, hey.
So is elected office in your future?
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up.
Here she go.
I'm glad you brought that up. So
Here she
completely
go.
separate from anything that we're doing
Did I
with
do
the
a
Fort
boo-boo?
Bend. No, you didn't. This was
Okay.
great, actually. This is completely separate from Fort Bend VEC. I definitely was a part of the pressure campaign
And
on
she's
this
saying,
one.
look, you see, she's talking. She's doing a campaign.
I know. We've got her on the ballot actually coming up in March to be the precinct chair for our Siena area, precinct two. Precinct
2118.
Yeah, 2118
Really?
in
Yes.
precinct 2. So she is going to be on the ballot.
And I do have an opponent.
And she does have an opponent.
Yes.
But
Okay.
this is why it's important for people to get out and vote in the primaries, because precinct chair they're the people
This
that are
is their
supposed to
job.
go and get the
Yeah.
votes. That's what they
Yeah,
do.
bring people together.
Right. And so this is what she's already doing.
Right,
So it
already
only
doing
made
it.
sense for her to be on the ballot, and I'm really glad that she caved to the pressure.
So you did get an exclusive on Kevin's
you did.
Corner.
You did.
Yeah.
You got an
But
exclusive.
I haven't put that out there.
She has not, but
and
I'm
she
glad.
keeps telling me, you need to start campaigning. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm
Wow.
gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
You heard it here first. Wow.
Yes, we're
Yeah,
excited
So-
about
be on the
that.
ballot. Wow, that's crazy to hear. But
Well, congratulations,
Thank
and
you.
I'm very excited for you. And
thank you.
you know, you run for the board of directors of real estate organizations. So now you're going to do this,
Yeah.
and all that means that you just, you know, one of these days
Keep it
she's
going.
going to be on my podcast and she's going to be running for president.
Let's
Yeah.
hope.
Wait a minute.
Look, the sky's the limit.
Scale that back a little
The
bit.
sky's the limit.
We'll see.
Mayor, governor, president. Very nice, very nice. So, in the last couple of minutes we have on the podcast, why don't you guys tell everybody if they're watching the podcast and you've convinced them that they need to either start voting or they need to approach how they vote differently by learning more about the candidates and the issues. How do they get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, so they can email us at fortbendvec@gmail.com. That's probably the quickest, easiest way. You can reach us on any of the social media platforms.
Yes.
We are available. They can DM us. It's Fort Bend VEC for everything. That's typically the best way because we're always monitoring that. And I don't think people like to pick up the phone and call anymore.
Yeah.
So we're really making
It's too
Making it
easy.
easy.
yeah, I mean, we're trying to
Yeah.
make it as accessible to the generation we want to appeal to as possible. So we're
And
hoping.
that generation text message is everything. So.
Text.
They text, they prefer,
Email,
yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, but if
TikTok.
anyone is in definitely TikTok, but if anyone is in the Fort Bend area and they have teenagers who are in high school or if you're in college, we are also looking for volunteers because we
okay.
have grown a lot over the past couple of months, so we do need help.
Is it just you two guys that are?
It is
It's just us.
Okay.
It's just
For now.
us. I mean, it took off pretty quickly, and we're keeping up with it right now, but we're definitely in we really want to find volunteers, and it's a great opportunity, and it's official. We're happy to give them whatever volunteer hours that they'll
Yeah.
need. They'll get an official form from us,
Right.
and if they're interested in politics, it would be a great fit.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. So give them the email address one more time.
Fort Bend V as in Victor EC @gmail.com.
And you can find them on social media and all that stuff.
Yep, at Fort Bend VEC.
across all platforms.
Also, if you need a real estate agent, she's amazing.
Yes.
She closes with us. Awesome real estate agent. And if you need any legal assistance with any
Yeah.
builder, any construction litigation,
I'm your girl, for sure. I can help out anywhere within the realm of construction litigation, commercial, residential. We do all of it. Also, our firm does a lot. I have partners that deal with injury and employment and general commercial lit. So we're pretty well rounded.
there you go.
And she writes a killer demand letter. I mean,
We have
You
a
wanna
very
get paid.
symbiotic relationship here. Jamie sold my last house, and Jamie sold my sister's house, and we have a very good relationship here.
And people open your letters and instantly get real nervous.
That's how it's supposed to be
Yeah.
when
Good.
you get a letter
Okay.
from an attorney.
That's
That's-
Then I want to stay off of her
they
list.
pay immediately taking her letter. So just in case you need some payments,
There you go.
Courtney.
I'm
Real
happy
estate
to help.
agent, demand letters, construction litigation,
Whatever you need.
politics,
Yeah.
right here, everything.
package.
Awesome. Is there anything else that we haven't mentioned that you would like the audience to know, whether it be about the politics or real estate, litigation, anything, before we go?
I think for me, it's really important that if people don't take away anything else from that, it's to educate yourself. If there's nothing else that you take away from any of what we do, it is do it for yourself, do it for the community you live in. If you want something in your life to change directly, right? Like whether it's grocery prices, where you live, affordability, whatever it is, it starts at the local level. And it only matters if you know what it is that you're voting for. So you definitely have to be educated.
Don't just vote. Don't vote just to vote.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I would say this is not the time to be passive.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the time to be passive with your vote. This is not the time to be passive with politics. You have to get involved and figure out what's going on. I have had my share of having to sell people's homes who couldn't afford them due to insurance or escrow or HOAs, and it has gotten so difficult because I'm empathetic. So it's gotten so difficult for me to work with these people, and they're senior citizens, and I just couldn't sit back and I didn't buy anymore. I had to get involved, and by me getting involved, I likewise like to pull other people in too. So if politics is your business, they have this saying at HAR, politics is if real estate is your business, politics is your business as well. So
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, real estate agents that are watching this podcast, your business decisions are made about your business that other people are making that you can influence with your vote. So, if you don't like certain things, the way things are happening or the way things are going, or you want something to change, this is the way you do it.
Absolutely.
But you have to educate yourself. You have to figure out what it is that people are, the issues that are coming up on the table and how people are voting, so you know which direction to go.
Absolutely.
And I think this is what this whole podcast was about today, right?
Yeah.
So give me the email one more time.
fortbendvec@gmail.com.
All right, ladies. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having
Jami
us.
Bertrand and Courtney Stricklen.
There you go.
yeah.
Awesome. I mess it up sometimes.
That's
So
all right.
you guys, thank you very much for being
Thanks
on the
for having
podcast.
us.
Kevin.
And this has been episode 119. Again, if you are an agent or a vendor that operates in Fort Bend County area, give me a call. I'll be happy to put you on the podcast. Thank you to my entire team, Jennifer Smidas, Mike Schneider, Caitlin Cornick, Devin Van Wyn, Melissa Caruso, and Gracie Lagos. I'm going to forget one of them. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have this podcast. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next week, and have a great 2026. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good job.